YouTube.
Just start now. Just start.
Sorry, you were sick for 8 days and got lost.
Got lost.
YouTube. Just start.
You lost it in Golfity. You lost it in Golfity.
Three checks. Please tell your RCBC. I'm going to say solution that you yes. No, that's we have
In YouTube, how do I check, Samir? How do I check YouTube?
Hello.
Speak. I'm going outside. Come. We'll go to. Just go to.
No, I'm on YouTube.
Our video will be, no, the video will be coming.
Live.
I'll go to see whatever is coming. Yeah, no, there is the old one.
Old one.
No, this is the one. There should be some live telecast be there. Live now. See, this is the one which is live. Pick the one that will come live. Sarup's one. Just bring a little back. Hold on. I'll just bring that video.
Live now. Yeah, it's fine, Samir.
Just give me 1 second. 1 second.
Yes.
Yeah, Murthy, tell me. Go outside.
YouTube we can't see. Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, coming.
Hello. Sir.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hello. 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 Is there anybody? Hello. Anybody? Any disturbance? Hello. 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 Sarup sir. Sarup sir. I can't hear you.
Rotary Foundation and what are we talking about? I've forgotten. So anyway, Samir Raviani is coming and I'm not sure how the attendance will be. Let's hope that we are able to get 20 people attending the meeting. I'm just trying to check if the audio is reaching clear to Swaroop without any disturbance. If there is a crackling sound or a disturbance, then you need to look at it. But if the sound is sharp and clear, we don't need to do anything. Thank you, Swaroop.
Hello. Hello. Mic testing. Hello. 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 Sarup sir.
I left 10 minutes earlier than I wanted to. Because never know the traffic. Then I parked and I had other new car directly let us come. So we'll bring the bookings next year in like. The only thing is the gathering of all the feeling happened every year in India. It's not easy the chair and the secretary. And this year the institute is there, Visakhapatnam, of December. We launching we launching it there. Our director has come down, next director or from Vietnam. So we had some call and some online meetings, just in the car and everything there. So that's all there's all the follow up message. Bro, tomorrow can your medicine group give your contact of medical share topic? So tomorrow is signing with America. Usually, but design made the room, both of them will be whatever you said. So work here, so in the world that is remote days. Yeah, 3-4 days is here. So tomorrow we're finishing Shangri-La Indian and Brazilian. He said Radisson का तो लगा करो फिर फिर हम लोग बोल सकते हैं. तो ऐसे नेट 3-4 दिन में कर सकते हैं. हाँ, ये जेल करने का करने को सकते हैं. देखो इसने अनिता ने राजेंद्र का एडवाइजर मेरा बैचमेट इधर चीफ था डिपार्टमेंट किरण कुमार जी का नाम है जैसे वो चेयरमैन बनने के लिए ये ऐसा है तो यार एक मेरे भी एक्सपर्ट है वो सब पता है तो इसे मिलिंद देशपांडे को भी को मास पूरा मिलिंद बैठेगा पता ठीक है तो you just put in this word to right. The powerful is you check all and check marks. You check the point. This is the link. And what you say? Okay, this year. The review is done. Okay. And our these are all the I was going to say and I was I had last year, in Hazard Court, I had 14 of my presidents coming. This year, around 9 of my presidents are coming. Next year in Uday Master Court and Training Court, I have again another 9 or 10 of my. Literally, major chunk in 3 years all ages. 30 odd in 3 years. No, I even by the way, I was 30. I had 34 ages. Was my present first way. I mean, no, I see that in seconds for it. Oh, now I'm living in 6. Unless I want to consolidate. Co-president was Gupta. Who? It's Gupta. Oh, I go to the act. Thank you. Long way. 17 years. Not you compared to I agree that. We want our things to be actually when I was my people are going to end well, then they will degree. I will find by space and expenses. One is working with HDFC done business I have been the other wing has done some engineering because of the daily mountain. So last 1 year they are working and next year they will go for the master. I think how are you to give you We're testing the audio last time. Last time, we got it back. The login is next plan test. I didn't kind of a person because I thought I will show a big picture and then they will begin the archive. So one thing I think that's what I think going on with Saturday. But the back schedule that I'm doing that in every video. But I do have each day of my visit upload on YouTube. I done a video capsule every end of every day. Yes. They're all enough more related to that's a very interesting one. Check it in if you see, I also when you see a 9 to that, oh, see. We have one program. Yeah.
Hello.
Whatever you want to hear,
Will I be? Oh, okay. Okay. Like, okay, am I? Am I audible? I'm visible. Am I visible?
I'm only looking dusty. Suddenly you'll find all the dust on your bag. But they are just getting it checked out. Thank you.
Hello. You're on mute. Yeah, I can.
Yes or no?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, lovely. So we're all set to go. The rest of them are here. All your gangsters are here.
Hi.
May I request all of you to please stand up for 1 minute of silent prayer. Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening and welcome to the 20th meeting of RCBC. Especially welcome to all our 4 guests here and the 5th guest who is on from the homes. And we request majority escort PDG Samir Hirani up to the stage, please. Great. No, afterwards. I'll call you for that. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, please put your phones in silent mode. I have a couple of phones ring. I think melodies tunes, but it can be silent. And this month, the focus area is Rotary Foundation month, and our guests are from the Rotary GSC team, the Group Student Exchange Program. And more than need, I think we will share with you what exactly GSC Exchange Program is and what they experienced and how it benefited them. And but before we go to today's program, now I would like to call Prashant to make the secretary's announcement.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Celebrated her birthday with the shoe being Jimmy Choo. 18 November, spouse celebrate. Marian Tara. I'm sure a lot of us know who she is. On 20th November, Rotarian Kittu Krishnamurti celebrates his birthday, and he celebrates his birthday along with, any guesses? Yeah. Yeah, and on 21st, Rotarian Sriram Basha celebrates his birthday with what a beautiful ladies. Second November, and spouse Sudha Timaya, she celebrates her birthday with Scarlett Johansson. So you can understand. Wedding anniversaries, we have just one. 15 November was wedding anniversary of Venus Sridhar and Indu Sridhar. We wish them all the very best. Coming to meetings, Friday, 18 November is Youth Services meeting hosted by Rotarian past President D. Venkatesh and spouse Geetanjali at the residence. This will commence at 7:30 p.m. Community services meets on Saturday, November 19th at the Karnataka Hockey Club. Time is again 7:30 p.m. and it's hosted by Rotarian Police. Spouses are invited. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Prashant. This week has been an extremely busy week for us, especially with the golf fitting, which finished on the 11th of November. 12th edition in a row, and I think thanks to all of you that we were able to successfully complete that with a good amount of collection. The figures will follow shortly, but at the first estimates, I think our gross receipts are in excess of about 62 to 63 lakh rupees in our gross receipts. And I also think that our expense, after our expense, we should definitely be left in a healthy surplus of 53 to 55 lakhs, which makes our entire fund collection for the year 95% complete. That means our targeted 1.95 crores, we are only short by about 4 to 5 lakh rupees, which I believe our members, the balance 30 members will contribute, and our funds are there with us now. And I think the biggest challenge now is to do good projects. Money is not the issue, money will come. I guess another 50 lakhs will come if you have good projects, but we need good deliverable project with good end goals in sight. So I am requesting all members to please come up with good projects through our committee, and we will take them up in the next couple of months. As a follow-up of the projects, last Saturday, we had visited the primary school at, it takes time to pronounce, it is Dida Gada Halli village, which happens to be near, I think, Gubbi. And we got this lead from a CSR partner of ours, Moog. And it was a village school where only 28 children. And I think it was one of my first visits to a village school in South India. And I think the other Rotarians went there as well. And it shows to us that how much of work we can do outside Bangalore. I mean, people at village level, I mean, 28 children, no books, no basic facilities at the school. Even teachers working in shifts, working in 2 schools across 2 villages. So it's an eye-opener, and we hope we also, on the spot, we had extra material. So one more principal walked in from a neighboring government school, and we gave all that material for that school. In that school, there were only 13 children. So what we realized is that there are a lot of government schools with just 15, 20, 25 children. And building infrastructure for them is a challenge. I think it's an area where we all can work. And I think the community service director and the youth director will take up good projects in that. And the Interact Raila is coming up at Shishu Mandir. I think we're having 14 Interact clubs participating. So this is a roundup of the programs happening in the next couple of days. And now let's go on for today's program. I think before we go, I think Susan Mark is going to do the Rotary information talk. Susan, please come.
Yeah, it's working. Okay, today's Rotary Information Talk in line with the subject is the Group Study Exchange Program. So the GSE program was launched by Rotary International in the year 1965, then fully funded by the Rotary Foundation. Today, the tradition continues through vocational training teams, and it is funded by the districts who carry on this wonderful and inspiring tradition. So the Group Study Exchange Program is a unique cultural and vocational exchange opportunity for young business and professional men and women between the age of 25 and 40 in their initial professional life. Through the GSE program, teams of young business professionals visit each other's countries to learn their culture and gain business insights. Rotary districts in different countries are paired to send and receive professional study groups of 4 young Rotarians less than 5 years, and non-Rotarian team members and 1 Rotarian team member to travel for 4 weeks, staying in the homes of Rotarians when possible. For 4 to 6 weeks, team members experience the host's culture and institutions, observe how their vocations are practiced abroad, develop personal and professional relationships, and exchange ideas. With good planning and a goal-driven itinerary and active participation of dedicated Rotarians, a GSE program can be an exceptional educational experience for both the visiting GSE team and local Rotarians. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. There is a good summary of the GSE program. Now I would like to call upon Rotary Manjunath to introduce PDG Samir Haryani, who was the GSE team leader for this program, which was in 2012, is what he told me. Please come, Manjunath. Please introduce Samir Haryani to us. He's well known to all of us here, but I think the formal introduction is in place.
I keep updating every 2 weeks whenever a new assignment comes in. Maybe the nearest to what is
The latest, I guess. Okay.
I send it to Swaroop without looking. So I think it's good.
Yeah, I think I'll read that out so that you'll know whether it's the latest or there's something more to add into this. It's an honor to introduce Rotarian Samir Haryani. I had the privilege of attending a couple of your sessions. I don't know if you remember, and there's an excellent orator. I think I'm really admire you for that. Learned a lot of things through your sessions. I think it was a whole day session and excellent. So, Rotarian Dr. Samir Haryani, born in Mumbai, completed his entire schooling in higher education at Bangalore. He holds a Bachelor of Dental Surgery, BDS degree, and a postgraduate certificate program in endodontics. I wanted to get that right, yeah. Dr. Samir Haryani is the CEO of PSMT Academy, a dentist by qualification, also runs a successful multi-specialty clinic, Dazzle, the one-stop dental clinic, and is director at Dazzle Online Stream Private Limited. Dr. Samir Haryani is a successful trainer, digital coach, anchor, MC, sports commentator, voiceover, and an auctioneer. He's a faculty trainer for Rotary Leadership Institute, RID 3190. He's an active member of Rotary Bangalore Southwest since July 1998 and has learned declassification dentistry. He was a very successful centennial president of his home club during the Rotary Centennial year 2004-5. He has served as RI District 3190 in various capacities such as District Joint Secretary, District Secretary, GSE Team Leader to RID 1900, Assistant Governor, District Conference Chairman, District Director Membership, and Extension Chairman of Rotary Premier League, District Director Public Image, District Director Young Club Support Chairman, and the list is endless. So I'm going to stop there. Okay. Right. He was recognized as the Dynamic District Secretary 2011-12, Rotarian of the Year RI District 3190 2015-16 for the record and excellent extension as District Director Membership, Development and Excellent Extension by adding 52 new clubs and assisting District Governor in achieving world #1 status. And it's an endless list. So I think it's a brief and crisp introduction. And just one last bit, he's currently serving as ARPC Zone 7 of Rotary International, Ambassador Zone 7 Girl Empowerment Task Force of RI for 21-23, sorry about that. Chairman Technology Visakha Vista Rotary Zone Institute 2022, District Trainer R83190. Thank you.
Thanks, Manju. At one stage, you're looking at Vadio who goes on endlessly telling the Shastra. So may I request you to address us with your experience?
Do I need this too? I guess. So I can grow a bit taller for some time. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rote and Manjunath, for that introduction. You know, I keep saying when I was governor 4 years ago nearly, 2019-20, we used to hear this every day. And I was like, oh my God, why not again? Like, just like they went, oh God, you know. So after many years, when you hear it again, it's welcome. So thank you so much for that introduction with whatever added, you know, portfolios, if I may call it, I have added recently. Well, Star Walker President, my namesake. There's only a difference between an I and two E's. Samir Gupta, this Star Walker Secretary Prashant, my wonderful members of RCBC, the club admin Swaroop Sridhar, who's been so, you know, kind in coordinating this wonderful meeting here today. And my good friend who's missing today, Santosh Nedunwadi, right on my right here. So he's the one who initiated this thought, messaged me when I was on travel and said, let's get you guys back together. And my stars, you know, because my dazzling stars, as I say, the three here and one there on Zoom, my GSE team, 2012. So when I was the governor, we had this wonderful theme given by our Rotary International President. Rotary connects the world. And that was the theme that we lived by for the whole year. And this year, the theme is Imagine Rotary. So I was just thinking that from the last 10 years, since we went on this GSC trip, we have literally been living the Rotary Connects the World theme. And whoever thought that a club where I have so many wonderful connections, you know, when we were in the pre-fellowship time itself, we were the early birds here at the meeting. I was looking at all the names in that, you know, shelf where you've kept their invoices or receipts and their IDs. I seem to have a connection with a majority of your members in RCBC, and they've all been great connections that I have shared with each one. I had a story, I had a memory, and I had a connection with each of those members in that shelf. And I think that's why RCBC made us reconnect after 10 years. It's been a decade since we went on our GSE trip in 2012 to District 1900, Northwest Germany. Asha will correct me. I think it was North Rhine-Westphalia or something like that. She knows more German than all of us put together. So that's where we went in May and June 2012. And after that, I think at least for a couple of weddings and maybe a birthday. So 3 times in the last 10 years. This may be the 4th. So thank you, RCBC, for connecting the GSC 2012 team again. And thank you, Santosh and Swaroop, for making it happen. So at that time, when I was the district secretary, and as Susan gave us a wonderful insight into what the GSE program was, it was exactly as she mentioned. It was a cultural, vocational, and to a great extent, a great personal exchange for each one of us in the GSE team. When we sat down, they first elected me as the leader after a round of interviews with many Rotarians and asking Rotarians as to what is their outlook, what is their contribution to Rotary, and how they're looking at maximizing this GSE program. We sat down to actually look through the applications of maybe 86 or 90 people who had submitted their applications to be part of the GSE team to Germany. At that time, we had not shared where we were going. I don't think we knew exactly also where we were going. We didn't know the itinerary, but we just heard through the applications and we said, what is it that we are looking at, you know, doing at this GSE team program? So we said, one is we are proud Rotarians. So we want to showcase the work of Rotary District 3190. But in our final year, I think next year we'll have to change that to 3191 because you're going to be part of the district with me. So we are proud Rotarians of 3190. We want to showcase the work, the capabilities and the achievements of 3190 to our German counterparts. The next thing, we're all proud of our state of Karnataka. many of us proud Kannadigas as well. So let us showcase Karnataka, India, Namma Bengaluru, India to the world, and let us showcase the talent, the skills, the special, facets that each one of us has as individuals to the German counterpart. Because we know Germans are very, very particular and they're very, very meticulous. So we said, why don't we just do something totally different? Normally, when we look at a GSE program, or like she said, now it's a VTT, because they're focused more now on vocational. We said we want to touch the first part of the GSE, the cultural, more than the vocational. And we were the penultimate group, let me tell you. The year after we went, the next year was the last group, and after that GSE was discontinued from the TRF funding direct. The governor can fund it through his district fund if he still wants to, he or she, if they still want to, they can fund it, but TRF will not directly fund. So we were the penultimate group. In fact, the first thing they asked me is, did we do something wrong that RI actually shut down GSE? After we went, people said, no, we don't want such people coming on GSE. I was like, no, I think it was more of a stewardship issue that they had to realize. So we said, okay, vocation is one thing. Let us look at the cultural diversity of our country, the cultural diversity of our state, the cultural diversity of our city and our district. That was our prime goal in selecting 4 talented youngsters between the age of 25 and 40 from amidst the boundaries of District 3190. And when we filtered through those applications, we selected 4 plus 2 alternates, just in case somebody is not able to make it at the last minute. And let me tell you, I have on record statements, I have on record essays, I have on record stories and reports that these 4 were amongst the best 4 GSE team members that have gone from District 3190. And they really made me proud. Maybe they played a big role in catapulting from district secretary straight away into 1, 2, 3. I know so many things you read out. So it must have been this experience and the feedback, because we actually got a wonderful feedback, because we took 4 talents. Let me tell you 4 talents. We said, okay, cultural showcasing of Karnataka. Who do we get? The dancing beauty of Karnataka, Bharatnatyam, showcased by Megha Srinivas. She is there right here, mighty. So she was our cultural ambassador. Then the voice of Karnataka. He was the Badshah on radio. You hear the intros in detail. He was the Badshah on radio. His voice went through every nook and corner of Karnataka. So we said, let's take the voice of Karnataka with us. And we had Avinash Bhardwaj and RJ, and now on television. Then Rotary does a lot of social work, gives a lot of impetus on building up youth. So we had a road tractor and a social worker, 2 in 1, dedicating her life to the education of children. And she is there in Austria right now, Asha Sharath Subramanian. So she was our social worker and our road tractor representing District 3190. And then in Karnataka, India, in 3190, we weave magic. It's literally weaving magic. We wanted to showcase the talent and the celebrity of Karnataka, and we had Industri Ravindra, our ventriloquist and magician, and along with them, a Rotarian, a voice of 3190, a Rotarian who has dedicated his time and a lot to Rotary as the GSE team leader. So we said, okay, we have a good blend. We have a good blend. We have a good mix of culture. We have a good mix of vocation. We have a good mix of, the showcasing our district. And that's exactly what we did. Apart from each one of us in different cities, spending a day or 2 with somebody of our vocation in that city and learning, we actually got opportunities at Rotary meetings and at the Rotary conference to really, really showcase. And we did a different kind of show. It wasn't talks like this, Samir Prashant. I'll tell you how our flow normally was at every event. Megha would start off by invoking blessings through a dance performance. And then Avi would take them through like a radio show. I would do my usual Rotary buck. Asha would add value of youth and, her work. And finally, Indu would be a showstopper with her magic on the stage. And every meeting, every district that we went, these 4 floored the audience, and each one came and said, wow, You have really brought the best blend. They taught them things about Bangalore and Karnataka in the respective homes that we stayed. We were hosted every week by a different host. We met different Rotary Club meetings. As a Rotarian, for me, apart from that dental qualification that you read, Manju, is qualification only. I don't practice dentistry anymore. So for me, it was learning how Rotary functions abroad, how conferences are held, how meetings are held, and it's so different. The international, it was truly an international understanding to build peace and goodwill. You really see diverse ways that Rotary meetings are conducted. Here, President Saab is so kind enough to sit with me. Over there, the president will not sit with others. They have a special president's table. It's like POTUS. To be invited on the president's table, you have to be a celebrity or a chief guest. So they gave us that status once in a while. The leader sits there, and the rest of the members sit on other tables. Most of their Rotary is checkbook Rotary. I know you've also raised a lot of money, but you have service for it. Over there, they would say, so-and-so sent a check here, so-and-so sent a check there. Wow, we did our Rotary for the week. So a lot of understanding, lot of, and their conference, our conference starts like a shadi. Half day this, then 2 days this, then ending this, then this. Their conference is exactly 4 hours. They start in the morning with breakfast, have sessions till lunch, have lunch, and you're done. So we really saw different facets of Rotary. They got a good understanding of Rotary, and they've, experienced the hospitality of Rotary. And I think that's why today we have all of them here to share with us how Rotary helped build their cultural experience, their vocational experience, and also the Rotary international experience. So thank you so much, Cantonment, for connecting us again. I have a special connection. Sam knows my son was a road tractor in a club sponsored by you. He was a road tractor at SJCC. So he was part of Rotary Cantonment when I was the governor as well. So thank you for reconnecting us and inviting us here. I will let the 4 stalwarts of the GSC 2012 share their experiences with you. Back to you, President. Thank you.
I think when I heard you, I realized one thing, that today we are calling from GSC program, but it's also the Rajotsava month. So I think it's an apt program where we are discussing the entire talent of Karnataka. It meets both of it, both the criteria. The Kannada Rajotsava program and the GSC team, I think. Great.
One more connection I realized. I was co-president with his father. His father was president in 2004-05. I was the president of my Rotary Club in 2004-05. So that's one more connection I realized this. It's amazing.
The small world, you sit for 5 minutes, a lot more will come out. Okay, now I think he's also given the template. We start with the invocation. I think we start with Megha. To start the program, Manju, please escort Megha to the. Please come. Thank you.
I'm giving you a chance to get to me.
Please.
Share the logo.
And Manju, please introduce Megha to all of us. Thank you.
Megha Singh was dance exponent, believing strongly, and if you do it well. The journey of learning the art started early at the age of 7 with Guru Srimati Gayatri Keshavan. With a strong foundation in place and a desire to learn the art in depth, pursued a postgraduate degree and finished it with a gold medal. Was blessed with the acquaintance of Dr. Shobha Shishikumar, who introduced Megha to the world of Natya Shastra. Expanding her horizons, it helped her to become proficient in the 108 Karnas and understand the nuances of Nritya. She's part of the Nritya contemporary dance team. Doordarshan, as a graded artist, Rotary International recognized her for the culture exchange program to Germany in 2012. Megha has presented research papers at conferences and has conducted various lectures, demonstrations, and workshops at prestigious platforms. Through Veda Pancha, her humble beginning at a dance school in India, she nurtures future potential. She's a teacher at Mayuri with Nritya Ashala, helping students with the fundamentals at Natya Shastra. Megha is also faculty of dance at Udbhava, a center that believes in alternate education. She's taking training in Nattuvangam from Guru Prasanna Kumar. She highlights 150 plus performances. Germany, she's been to Germany as part of Rotary International. and a long list of other highlights. So let's stop there.
Namaskaram, and I would like to thank our president and the secretary for having us here to share our experiences and relive our memories. Honestly, when our team lead, Dr. Samir Haryani, called us and asked us if we would be able to be a part of this particular meeting, all of us said yes. And when the thought hit us that it was a decade since we went to the trip, not once did one of us feel that, oh my God, 10 years back, I don't even remember what happened. I don't recollect anything. Not once any of us felt. And why was that? What we see, we forget. What we listen, we forget. But what we truly feel and experience, that never, you can never forget that. It's a lifetime experience that all of us had. And I'll get very emotional if I go into the details, but quickly what I want to touch upon is, I went there as the ambassador for dance and yoga. And of course, all of us had our particular vocations and we would go to different places where we attended different sessions. For example, I went to a lot of ballet programs, ballet schools, yoga institutions, learned a lot about the vocation, their way of handling things, their perspective towards a particular art form, their perspective towards yoga. But the more important thing was the perspective towards life, how we accept one another. When we went to a different country, obviously because of the cultural differences that we had, and Dr. Samir Haryani already spoke about the differences and how disciplined a country Germany is. And we being Indians, we always had this 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late. So there were a lot of differences. But when we stayed at the homes of each other, that's when we started accepting each other's cultural differences. And now the world talks about peace, harmony, that, this. Now, these are the programs that actually help us bring peace into each other's countries. One may ask, what can a dancer do? She went, attended some program. How can she bring world peace and all that? Truly, the amount of difference that we can make is unbelievable. A teacher, when she teaches her students, she just doesn't instill the knowledge, but she passes on a value to every student. And that makes the society a conscious society. Now, to build that conscious society, such programs really, really need to happen. And a big shout out, big thank you to Rotary for having done this and continuing to do so. We really wish the actual GSE program can come back once again, because it can change millions of lives in ways that we cannot imagine. So thank you so much for, have us that experience, which we will carry for the rest of our lives, which is instilled in our lifestyle, and we will pass on to the future generation by, our own vocations and through whatever medium possible. See, we have a media person here, and what kind of a reach or a connect he can have through the experience he's had. Industry is a magician. She meets people day in and day out. And the kind of reach that she is going to have is going to make wonders. And that's how we're going to have a peaceful and a beautiful country to live in. And thank you so much that we were selected to be a part of such a wonderful team. Thank you. Thank you.
Lot of change in 10 years. Okay, now may I request Manju to Avinash to come on, please. Manju, will you please introduce Avinash for us? Are you still in media, Avinash?
Yes, I did something on Sunday. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Avinash Bharadwaj, an entertainment professional, more popular known as Balcony Badshah. Avinash Bharadwaj is an entertainment professional who has been an achiever in different forms of media like television, radio, films, and events. Awardee of the prestigious Aryabhatta and Rotary Award as multi-talented achiever, rapper and IRFA award winner for the best radio programming, performing languages, Kannada, English, and Hindi. So that's a very brief introduction about Avinash. Such a great secretary and all the other members. Well, as somebody said, and as Lisa said, it's a lifetime experience for us. It is still so fresh in our memory that, there has not been like I can tell you every time when Facebook shows us a memory that this is the year I went, we just go back to that time. And we relive that moment and those days because it was such a fantastic experience for all of us. I am very, very grateful to Rotary to have given us this lifetime experience, a lifetime chance to be part of such a wonderful program. Well, GEC actually was a life changer for a lot of us because we learned so many things. There were so many experiences. There were so many new people we met. There was so many new culture that we explored. It was a fantastic experience. In fact, when we go to any other trip as such to any other country, it's always planned. If we go as a family or if it's an official trip, it's more planned. We know what to do, how it is. But here it was every time, every event was a surprise for us because it was a completely new experience for us. We live with the Germans in the house, and trust me, not even a single day we felt that we were staying with some strangers. Because there was an emotional connect that happened in just a week's time. I remember that we were all in tears, we were in tears when we had to change to the next house or when we were to shift to the next city. We were all in tears to leave the house just in a week's time. I don't know what emotional bonding or the connect that could happen in 1 week. In fact, there is one instance I want to tell you. I was staying with I forgot his name, but he was the owner of a very famous compressor called Boge. Boge is a world famous compressor. They are in about 80 countries. Very, very big achiever by himself, but they were very, very sweet. I remember that lady, she used to wait till 12 because sometimes it used to be late by the time we finished our programs and came back. She used to wait till 12 o'clock to just make me hot food, just to prepare hot food for me. And I wondered why should she even do it for me? Night 12 o'clock, that motherly care I could see in her. And trust me, when I had to leave her house, I told, I didn't miss my mom because you were there. That was the connection that happened. And there were so many wonderful memories. And again, occasionally we could explore so many things, so many new things. In fact, as soon as I came back from Germany, I changed my job. Because it gave me a complete new perspective of life. I said I have to explore more because there was so much of exploring that happened in just 1.5 months that I felt that I have to explore my life more. And as soon as I came back, in about 6 months, I changed my job after about 8 years. After radio, I went to TV. So what I'm saying is it gave a complete new perspective of life to us. And in fact, language was actually a barrier because there were a couple of people who didn't know English. They were only German. And we knew very few words, very less German. But language is not a barrier at all. It was a human connect. We could experience that connection, and that is what this program was all about. And that happened. We experienced it, and we cannot forget that wonderful experience. And in fact, as Samir said, we were one of the teams who got a standing ovation from
in all the places where we went, where the presentations, wherever we did, we got a standing ovation. And that was because of the team that was, many of us were performers, and we could charm them with our whatever vocational talents we have. But I should also tell about Samir. Samir was never like a team leader. He was more of a friend to all of us. He was more of a guide to all of us, and still, we are in touch with all of us. All of us in touch with Samir. Not because of Rotary, but because of that emotional connect we had. So thanks, Samir. Thanks for being a wonderful leader. Yeah. In fact, we went to a lot of radio stations, and especially because there was a occasional exchange that was happening. I went to a lot of radio stations. I went to Radio Hot Shift. Stations we went also to a TV channel. There, we don't know, magic happened. Me and Endo, we were told to just go live and do something impromptu. So that was very challenging, but we pulled it out, and everybody were like stunned, how impromptu we could do. But yeah, that was, as I said, these are all the lifetime experiences that we carry. So thank you for this wonderful days of JC. Thanks to Rotary for giving us this lifetime experience. We can never forget those wonderful days. And like I said, it's been 10 years, but we never felt that, we never feel that. So once again, thanks to Rotary for all this. Thank you so much. Thank you once again.
Thanks, Avinash. Yeah. So can you spotlight Asha for us, please? You can unpin us. You can unpin the RHL board.
Hello.
Asha, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but before you go, I would like Manju to just introduce us in a few words. Manju, please go ahead. I would love to call and come up and sit next to Manju as well.
Hope so soon.
Next time.
Asha Subramaniam, humanitarian. Asha has over 16 years of diverse experience across IT and non-for-profit sectors. An engineering graduate by education, Asha spent her initial years as a software engineer in Robert Bosch, developing new software platforms for the automotive sector. She soon followed her heart and moved to the not-for-profit sector to support fundraising at Akshara Foundation, a leading Bangalore-based NGO working towards an equitable public education system. Over the last 12 years, Asha built partnerships with several corporates and foundations to support Akshara's causes. Asha's passion to do good to the society came in at a very early age. She joined the Rotaract Club of Jayanagar and was actively involved in projects to enhance the living conditions of orphanages, old age homes, improve learning in government schools, and building confidence of the differently abled. As a proud Rotaractor, Asha has served in many leadership roles, including president at the club level and conference chair and district secretary at the district level. She represented RI 3190 as a JC member to Germany in 2012. Asha currently lives in Austria with her husband Sharat, also an ex-Rotaractor, and their 6-year-old son Vidur. She enjoys traveling, spending time in nature, experimenting with art, and her newfound love towards violin. That's Asha.
Thank you. Hello, good evening, guten Abend. A little bit of German now that we're talking about Germany. Thank you, Samir, and thank you, Rotary Club of Bangalore Cantonment for providing this wonderful opportunity to share our experience. Like everybody else said, it's been 10 years and it's unbelievable that it's 10 years back we visited Germany and we've been connected with each other for so long. My first introduction to Germany, if I could call so, happened as a child because my father and my grandfather worked for German companies. And over the years, there was some, as a child, Germany was all about, my father would bring me toys and, that I would really look forward to that visit. But my interest in the language in the country increased, and as a student while studying engineering, I also landed up learning the language. And as fate could be, I joined a German company after graduation. So all of this gave me some opportunity to get to know the country, but it never, I never got to know the country culturally. And as a road tractor, I've met many GSC team members and was always in awe of this program. So when I heard that there is a possibility of application, I said, okay, let me jump into this and see, can I be part of this team, that could experience new cultures. And can't be thankful and can't be proud enough for being part of this beautiful team. Over the 4 weeks that we stayed there, we stayed with different kinds of hosts, from young people to young families to middle-aged families and very old people. Germans are, while they're not so very proud of their history, but extremely, extremely proud of their culture, their food, their music, their beer, and their sports. So, while we got all of that soaked in, we also realized that lots of them also have, these tiny misconceptions of India, many of them, from land of snake charmers. Unfortunately, all of that still existed. And this program gave me the opportunity to share the real India with them, about Bangalore, about Karnataka, about India, about our food, about things that we love, right? Like Bollywood, our way of life, our festivals. We cooked an Indian meal. I remember we all cooked an Indian meal for a large crowd of a group of Rotarians at one of our host place. And some of these are those small, beautiful memories that I still cherish. Vocationally, because I work with the government school sector in India, I got to visit many public-run kindergartens and schools there to just understand how things work there. It is very, very different to our schooling system itself. But yes, English as a second language, and how can that work is something that I got back. If I think of this whole experience and the memories that come by, I couldn't be thankful enough to have gone with this bunch of beautiful people, talented people. It's 10 years now, but I think this is something that I will remember for the lifetime. And again, fate now brings me back to Austria. So many of those things that I experienced in the GSC trip, I get to see that and experience again here in Austria. Culturally, the two countries are very similar and kind of helps me integrate better in the country. So thank you again for this wonderful opportunity, for being able to share my experience with you. And also, thank you for making this online meeting possible for me.
That was wonderful. Oh, sorry, that was Asha. I'm English, the next on my line. She already hypnotized us. Thanks, Asha. Wonderful that you could join us from Austria. And now I'd like to invite you onto the stage. And I already said you are hypnotized all of them, it appears. We are all talking about Germany now. And Manju, will you please introduce her to us?
So Manju, while introducing, all of you think that I took 4 GCT members to 1900 Germany. I'm not giving you away, but if you're lucky, you will get a surprise.
Industry ventriloquist and magician. So I was wondering what's an equivalent word in Kannada. I discovered that it is Garudiga. Is that right? Garudiga is also correct. Dhwani Garudi. Okay, good. So that's one new word in Kannada for the Rajyotsava, this thing, right? November. We should learn at least one new word, and it's an important one too. So, speaking about her education, she holds a BFA from Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad, College of Fine Arts and Painting, DAE, Arena Multimedia, MS Communications in Presidency College, Bangalore, Some of her special achievements, she received the First Ladies Award by the Honorable President of India. First female magician of Karnataka, first female ventriloquist of India, semi-finals of India's Got Talent, finalist of Entertainment के लिए कुछ भी करेगा, performed more than 4,000 shows all over the state and around the globe, performs for corporates, television, public shows, skits, launch events, etc. She's a TED speaker, performed with double dummy act, first person to have performed with triple dummy act simultaneously. It's a longer list of special achievements. I'll skip that and go to one important thing I saw in her resume. It's Burnt Alive, a show to spread AIDS awareness. I think it's, and I just want to read that out, unless you're speaking about it. Okay, Burnt Alive is a daring act which is performed by very few illusionists successfully. She was chained and locked, handcuffed, put in a box. The box was again chained, lifted to a decent height and burnt. She escaped from the burning box. The slightest error would have been curtains to her. This was taken up for the cause of spreading AIDS awareness. The standing performance was covered live by Suvarna Channel. Suvarna Channel is a Kannada channel. Industry has been on television, more than 100 live shows spread over 2 years on ZTV with Dinku, the favorite doll, portraying more than 100 characters and so on. Industry has been in print media, all the prestigious and prominent dailies and weeklies of Karnataka, as well as many magazines of South India, Maharashtra, and a few Gujarati papers and magazines have written about her achievements along with apt depictions and photos. Awards, she's won the President First Ladies Award, Karnataka Pratibha Ratna Award, Pratibha Shri Award, Karnataka Mahila Ratna Award, Kempegowda Award, PL Shanta Award from MLA CW. Okay. Cable TV Award TL. I've actually condensed it. It's much longer. Global Shapers Award, Arulu Mallige Award, Pragna Award, Indra Priyadashini Award, Vishwakama Award, and a global gold medal. Young Achiever Award, Rotary, and highlighted this. Okay, Karnataka Kirti Kalasha. Okay, sure, that's.
That you have got.
Let me also add one thing. The jacket she's wearing, that's our official GSC news paper. I think Avinash and I are not fit in these. We don't have that anything. You have the badge. He has the GSC badge. She don't have the jacket. I don't know. I don't have the badges. She has everything. You fit in. You.
I'm a monk regularly. So this was the German version of I'm a ventriloquist. So the president, secretary sir, Samir, friends, I'm really honored to be here after 10 years. It's a wonderful experience of life. So as Samir was telling us that there were not 4 team members, the 5th team member is also here. Yeah, so Grandpa also tagged along with us. This was an amazing experience. I would like to talk about my GSC trip first. Our GSC trip, okay, our GSC trip. So we stayed in different houses. So we learned a lot of things and also taught them how we use our hands to eat. So we all wondered, what? Do you eat with fingers? Like this without spoons and forks? And they used to lick their fingers and have their food and they found it really tasty. Yeah, so that was one thing we did. And as Avi was pointing it out, we had to perform a show at a TV station. So I had a puppet, but it was in the car and it was really far that I couldn't go and fetch him. So I had to perform then and there, and they did tape our performance. So I had a sock. I just removed my shoe and sock and wore the sock and fixed some eyeballs, and then I made the puppet then and there, and we spoke with the puppet. We had a show. So that was really, for me also it was a great experience. Oh, you did this without me. You never told me about this. Sorry. Yeah. Timings. Yeah. So time is very important in Germany. So 9 o'clock is sharp 9. It's not 8:59. It's not 9:01. So that's something which we really learned in Germany. And then we went on a walk. We went for a walk. I think the 3 of us or 4 of us, I don't remember. And then we were lost in woods. And we had learned German, so we wanted to, I wanted to show off, and somebody came, and instead of asking him how to go out of this thing, I wished him, "Guten Morgen," and then he was also taken aback, and he started conversing in German. So he didn't know English, and we had a tough time figuring it out. And lots of memories. I went to a lot of theaters, ballet theaters, and then I did watch a ballet, which happened to be White Swan, Black Swan. And I was amazed looking at the theater. There was a scene where the hero dies. Okay, and then he goes up to the heaven. The entire theater moved up. That was an experience for me. That was like wow factor for me. So there's a lot of things to learn. The costumes, the designing, they're so meticulous and they plan everything so well. It's not just culturally, even about the location. I did meet a ventriloquist over there, but I didn't expect that to happen. So that was one great thing. And I am the oldest GSC team member, by the way, okay? Yeah. So what did you learn from Germany? Oh, the country which had lost everything until 1945. I saw them rebuild themselves. Is that, can you ask for more? Yeah, that's something I really like. Yeah. And also the other thing is Samir also went on a vacational trip or something, and then he found somebody, a dentist, who showed him or gave him a gift. This was something from, this gift I received from an Indian. It's something about dentist. Do you know which language this is? And surprisingly, it was Kannada, and I read Danta Chikitsalaya. And yeah, so we were all very, very happy about that. And yeah, I can go on with a lot of things. And one particular thing I would like to share. There was a host who didn't know German at all. But we bonded so well. Sorry. Yeah, English. So we bonded so well. She spoke to me in a language I could understand, and she could understand my language. What else can you ask for? So this is the kind of exchange I learned, and I really would like to thank Rotary and our team leader Samir. We really had a great time because of him. He handled most of the things really, really well, and then he made a day-to-day video record of every activity we did. So thank you so much, Samir. And I had a wonderful team. We learned a lot from each other as well. It was a great experience overall. Yes, thank you so much, Rotary, for buy one get one offer. I really can't thank you more. Thank you so much.
Let me just highlight, in Germany, in that 4 weeks, the maximum that we did, I think I'm loud enough, they've got it.
So the maximum that we did was visit breweries and museums. These are the two things we did maximum. And I think I had practically 2 teetotalers and 1 sort of drinker. So I think it was only Avinash and me who were happy. Our day would start at 8 o'clock with a brewery visit. With breakfast, they would say, sample these beers. That's beer's the break. It's more than water. 8 a.m. This beer, please sample and have breakfast. And then you'd go next brewery and then museum. And then we got these 2 people to drink a bit. We don't want to share those experiences, but trust me, the churches, the museums, and the beer was, I think, more than the water that we drank. So unbelievable.
Samir, I want to add one more thing here. This was about, the whole, all the 5 of us here are pure vegetarians.
Yeah.
And Germany is a hardcore
Not
meat
vegetarians.
country.
All 5 are pure vegetarians.
And but they put in so much of an effort. I can imagine how stressful that would have been for them. But they put in so much of an effort to make sure every meal of ours was vegetarian. I mean, kudos to them for having made that.
Somebody who doesn't eat red meat. So they would think chicken is okay, no? Fish is okay, no? So the first day that we went, my core team leader, he took us straight from the airport to his house, and then we just refreshed a bit and went for lunch. He brought soup with mini crabs in it. This vegetarian soup. He said, what? Anyways, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing a wonderful experience. Anybody would like to ask them questions now? I leave it to the audience to ask a question. Anybody in Zoom also can ask a question. We have quite a few participants there as well. Any would like to ask?
Who would like to take that?
The most important thing or the experience that we had there was to be proud of. See, they took us to so many churches and they spoke so much about it. But I think Indians somewhere, we felt that we are not proud enough about our motherland. That also maybe because we have so many rich cultural temples all around us that we don't get fascinated. But for them, every little monument or tomb or any small thing becomes of very great importance. And that I think as Indians, we should imbibe to love our motherland and praise her in front of everybody, and we shouldn't shy away from doing that. And of course, punctuality. But also one thing, we were 5-10 minutes late initially. Towards the end of the team that was supposed to be mentioned by me, they were 5 minutes late. Yeah. So what we thought then was, it's good to be punctual, but it's also okay to break rules once in a way.
Great.
Let's see if it's on.
I'm sure all of us will remember. There was an Indian lady, a follower of Gandhiji, and she was associated with Gandhiji when she was in her childhood. So she wanted, she had not heard the Indian and national anthem for so many years. So her only request was, can you sing once Janaganamani for me? Trust me, all of us were in tears singing Janaganamani, and we had goosebumps. It's a moment, it's a memory which we can never forget.
Yeah. Any other questions do we have? Okay.
My personal experience, I'll just share one from a leader's point of view. So like they said, all of us were vegetarians, but many of us have been accustomed to a lot of multi-cuisine. But here, I'm married to a Kannada Smartha Brahmin South Indian, so I know how much they love their rice and their curd rice. And for the first 2 weeks, we hardly got to eat any rice. It was only German breads and some German, what they had to concoct as vegetarian food for us. They managed that. And every day they would look at me and say, Anna illa rice. That's all they would look at me. And I could see their face in the, okay, bread again. This is so hard. Those guys tried their best. So finally what happened, when we came close to our mid-tour break, or maybe it was at our mid-tour break, we took a mid-tour break to Berlin for 3 days. And we went to a restaurant called Bombay something. It was called Bombay something. And there was Sardaji Saab there who was serving the food. And he said, kya khaoge? All of them in unison said, dal chawal, dahi chawal. And I have pictures, as they said, I have made a day-to-day video capsule, GSC Day 1, GSC Day 2. It's there on my YouTube channel for all the 30 or 31 days I think I made it. That day when they ate rice after 2 weeks, each one of them had tears trickling down their eyes. And they're like, rice, more. They had not tasted rice for 2 weeks. And I was like, oh God, now I know what they were missing the most.
Wonderful. Okay, great. I think, thank you all for sharing your experience. I think we have relived your experience literally with all your travel logs. Now, can I call upon Past Prince Jasbir to give us a vote of thanks?
Good evening. When Prashant sent the message yesterday about today's program, the moment I read one name, I said I'm going to be there. Past district governor and future RIP, not rest in peace. I mean, Rotary International President, Samir Haryani. I just told him that this was maybe the 63rd time I heard him. So before he becomes RA president, I must hear him 100 times. Actually, you couldn't have had a better person than him as a leader. Apart from that, of course, I think I'm just hearing all the experiences that you had in Germany. I can feel a little bit because for 2.5 decades, I went to Germany every year. I used to work with German companies. And things like punctuality, hospitality, etc., gels with me a lot. Of course, each of you all had unique experiences. Asha spoke about, first Indu spoke about what she and grandpa enjoyed that day. And of course, we have Megha Sinwas, a very strong experience of whatever you did there. You even still feel that, whatever you had that time. And of course, our RJ and our media specialists who spoke about the human connection and more importantly, how his life changed. That is something fantastic that GSE not only gave you a fantastic experience, it was a life-changing experience. And we are so proud of Rotarians that the GSE has done such a fantastic thing to people who participated. Then we also had, I think I missed out one name. Yeah, Asha also. She also is sitting out there. The fact that she is there in the country where she could connect so much was because we have the GSE experience. And I think someday we must have a little longer session with all of you. You can also perform. I will ask our persons to, look at some program with you. But I would like to end with one experience about vegetarian. I took one friend of mine, a customer of mine, once to Germany. It was a 10-day affair. And he's a vegetarian. So the host was very embarrassed. What do I get for him? The first day he got him asparagus. He said, this is a delicacy. Next day I took him to another restaurant. They had asparagus soup. And third day, asparagus potatoes. And fourth day, the guy was looking like an asparagus. I said, come on. I said, Roy, come some anda khalo. And he said, okay, I'm going to break my rule and eat anda. I said, don't tell him about anda. So it is something where food culturally also, there's so much you can learn. I'm so happy to see that not only you learned culturally, emotionally, also such a big bond. And thank you very much, all of you, for coming and sharing experience. It was a wonderful program. Good night.
So I was not the original.